because I went ahead and started the broadcast, so I'm hoping you just pop in. This is live, you guys, and it's loading up to my YouTube channel. So think about how you want yourself portrayed. I mean, I could always, instead of having it broadcasted, you guys could just sit there and I could do a regular Hangout, and then you'll hear a sound that says like, ding, and then you could just accept it. It just won't be recorded. You just see you. Are you on? Oh, there you guys are. I think you're popping up. But it's just your icon. It's not you guys. Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
We can see you.
Hey, she sees us. Okay, I see you guys too.
I'm going to get off the phone then.
All right, cool. Okay, well, hang up. All right, can you hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Let me increase the volume here. Hi, guys.
Okay, well, this is Miss Burke's class. Thank you for talking to us. I told them, I don't think they know who you are. I told them your tall guy runs. So that's who he is, you guys. He is. He likes our Twitter stuff, doesn't he?
Okay, sorry, we just turned our volume up so we can hear you now. Okay. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi. So I'm trying to see if I recognize anyone here. Let's see. Is Valentino here?
Where's Valentino?
Yeah, I see you. I recognize you from Twitter. How about hey, Harry. How about is it Isabella?
Hi.
Hi there. I saw you on Twitter too. What about Cornel? I know Cornel's a runner.
Oh, Cornel is absent. Actually, you know what? If you're in Let Me Run, how about my Let Me Run boys come here, because
yeah, who's in Let Me Run?
Martin, he donated money so that you guys could do the program. So if you're Let Me Run, come over here so you can say hi and say thank you.
Hi, my name is.
Hi, guys.
Let me run.
Did you all run the 5K?
Yeah. No.
Then Dale's like, that's what he sees. You won't want to see your shirt.
Well, two of us did. The other shoe did.
Proud of you for running.
I don't know. I think they're a little bit nervous. This is our second day back at school. I'm not sure what's going on.
That's all right. We're a little nervous too, so it's all good. Okay, well, I'm going to introduce you to Trisha. So I work at Soft Star Shoes. We make shoes here in Oregon. We make shoes by hand. Show the ones I'm wearing right now. Very cozy moccasins. So I'm going to introduce you to Trisha. She runs this, one of the people who owns the company, and she's going to answer a bunch of your questions, and she's going to show you around our shop. All right, you ready? Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to play with this other device here. This is Trisha.
Hi, guys. Nice to see you. Is it cold? Is it cold in Tennessee?
Missouri.
Missouri. Is it cold over there?
We're not sure if it's cold in Tennessee. I heard that everyone's under a freeze, but it's cold here. We had a 2-hour delay start today.
Oh, lucky you guys.
I didn't. I woke up at 7:30.
So it'll really help the video.
We're ready. Are you going to take us on a tour?
We are going to take you on a tour. Martin is seeing if he can get the phone video to work so it won't be quite as blurry. But I'm going to start you over here in our showroom. You ready? Okay. So I'm walking backwards here. Let's see. So our workshop is... Oh, I put it on there.
You see? Okay. I don't have to flip
I'm
this
going to
around.
switch to that one. Here. Go like this. And we go to the camera. We flip it around.
Little technical difficulties here.
Okay. Can you guys
Oh, that's much better.
can they see now? Is it showing up? Can you guys see the workshop now?
We see Martin.
Hi. I'm gonna try closing myself out, seeing if that switches over to Tricia here. Fingers crossed. That's still me. That's still my camera dog.
Huh. Oh, okay, now what's happening?
We see
There you
Trisha now.
Yay, alright, we
Yay!
switched over.
Okay, great. Well, so how do I switch the camera on though? I go like this?
It's your phone.
Okay, hang on. Let's see if this works.
Still,
That didn't work.
Where am I going now? Back to Hangout, right? Okay, I see that. Okay, so it just
well,
faces
just
this
there.
way.
Have to do it this way. Why they're crooked up.
All right, are we back again, guys?
Yes.
Okay, so we are in a workshop, and you can hear the pounding and hammering going on in the back. I'm going to show you here. Here's some examples of the shoes that we make. They're all very bright colors. And people can come up into our workshop and see the shoes they want to make and even pick out their own colors. So like, for example, here's a shoe they could design, and then these are all the different colors they can pick from for that shoe. And we've got about 20 different styles of shoes. We started out by making little tiny shoes for babies about 30 years ago. And now we make shoes for runners and big people too. And our philosophy on our shoes, you can see here, is we make shoes that are very, very soft, almost like a sock on your foot. Because this way we feel that your feet are really kind of like your hands, right? And your toes and your muscles in your feet can move naturally if you don't keep them in a little box or a little sock. So our shoes are meant so that your feet can act kind of more like your hands. They're very sensitive. They have a lot of nerve endings and a lot of muscles, and they work best if they have room to move. So I'm going to take you into our workshop here. It's a big view where we're working. And I'm going to take you to where we cut the leather out. All right, we're going to start there. All our leather comes from the U.S., and it's stored on these lovely shelves back here. A hide of leather is big enough that about 10 of you guys could lay on it. They're very, very large pieces of leather. And this lady right here, her name is Hava. She is taking orders for shoes and leather. Oh, sorry, it's Elizabeth. Sorry, I'm looking at the phone.
They look the same from behind.
And she has got what's called a press that she's using with the big patterns for the tops of the shoes. This same machine can be used to stamp out metal or stamp out paper. They make license plates for your cars with this kind of machine. And we're using it to press out and cut out pieces. And Elizabeth, would you mind just holding up a piece of what you cut out there? Okay. You can see what Elizabeth has there. It's the back for a shoe. Okay. Thank you. And here's a closer view of some of these dies, so you can kind of see what these cookie cutters look like. They're pretty heavy. Okay? After Elizabeth cuts out the leather, it moves over to where we sew the pieces together. So I'm going to show you next Hava. Hello.
Okay, you know that you're sideways, right? I mean, we're fine with it, but I just wanted to make sure you knew that.
Is that better?
Yes.
Oh, much better. Okay. Good. So Hava is working at a sewing machine, kind of like maybe sewing machines you've seen before, but it has much bigger needles and is very powerful and can go through thick material. That's the back of a moccasin she's working on right there. And here on her table, she also has the fronts to the shoe. So she has all the parts there. And it gets sewn inside out. And then, let's see. Here's another view of Keone. Say hi, Keone. He's working on another style of shoe, which is actually a running shoe. Coming a little closer so you can see this one. Let's see. Thanks, Huh? And some of these shoes are made inside out, some of them are not. We're going to show you an example here. Martin is going to hold up a shoe that was sewn inside out.
Got sheepskin on the outside. This is our high-tech broomstick handle here, state of the art. So we push the shoe really hard over it and make sure all the stitches are strong. Small one. There you go. We'll sew in the elastic and it's almost finished shoe there. Very soft and cozy.
So after the shoes are sewn, some of the shoes get soles attached to them. This is an area over here. Let's see, where we have a press. This is Rob.
Hello.
And Rob is using a press here where he has some shoes inside where he was putting a sole on. It's kind of a slow machine. Or a very slow machine.
What does that machine do?
It's pressing the sole. So Rob has glued it on and then he presses it on. So let's see. Here's an example of a shoe where we have a big piece of leather on it that we glued on for this leather sole. And then he puts it in the machine and presses it really, really flat. And then he cuts it off on a trimming machine over here. And Rob's going to... There's a different pair with that big piece of leather on that's been pressed, and he's going to here. This way. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
You have to be very good with your hands. I couldn't do this job. Rob makes it look easy, but it's actually a pretty hard job. Requires a lot of hand and eye coordination. Okay. That's actually a shoe for someone your guys' age. I could get it in there. There we go. Okay, thanks, Rob. After the shoes are made, we then have a final inspection station here This is where Tim normally is.
Thanks, Tim.
Actually, we're going to have Tim come over and say hi to you real quick. Tim is the founder of Soft Star Shoes. He started this company 30 years ago. Tim, this is Miss Burke's 5th grade classroom.
Hi guys. Soft Star. Hello. Hello Tennessee.
Missouri. I had the wrong.
Missouri. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I goofed up this morning, guys. I'm sorry. I had Tennessee on my head. But Tim is doing kind of the final steps here where he's turning the shoes that need to be turned inside out. Or if there are shoes that don't need to be turned, he's inspecting them, making sure that everything on them is just right, and double checking sizes and colors.
Yes. They start inside out, and they end up like this.
And here's an example of how our orders come in through the internet. They come in on a piece of paper like this with this one is from someone in Paradise, California, who wanted a pair of pink shoes. We have shoes that come in every day from all over the world. They ship to Japan or to Holland quite a bit. And speaking of shipping, this is an area here where we line up all our orders and get them ready to ship. These are all orders here waiting to go out the door. And we ship about anywhere from 40 to 150 boxes a day, depending on what time of year it is and how many people are ordering. So I know that was a really quick tour. I hope the video was still enough that you guys could see. Did that video work okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I think we're going to head maybe into Sarah's office where it's kind of quiet. And Martin and I are going to be in there. And then if you want, we can start on questions. So this will work.
Well, did you want to kind of tell us a little bit about how Soft Star got started? Because I know we are doing Genius Hour, so the kids they think about what they're passionate about and what they can do with their passion, how they can start things. I kind of thought that's kind of how Soft Star got started.
Yes, yeah. So there's actually 2 stories behind Soft Star. So the first is Tim, that gentleman you just met. He started the company 30 years ago because he had a little baby girl, and they lived in Texas, and he wanted to get her shoes. But back then, 30 years ago, all they had were these stiff baby shoes with really thick soles, and they'd come halfway up your little chubby ankles, and he just couldn't put his little girl in them. He thought, these are awful. So he decided to learn how to make shoes, and he started making baby shoes, and that's what he did. He learned about leather, and he learned about patterns and cutting them out, and he'd get on the phone and he'd call baby stores and say, hey, I'm making shoes. Would you like some? And he had to learn everything from scratch. He had never owned his own business before. And he did that for a very long time.
Oh, I want to add that the first Soft Star workshop was actually in an old school bus. He bought an old school bus that was broken down and wouldn't run, and his family actually lived in it while he built their house by themselves. But when they moved into the house, they turned this old school bus into their shoemaking workshop. So every day they went in the bus and made shoes. And we have some pictures of it on our website.
Yeah. So Tim really liked to work with his hands. He liked to make things. He started out actually in a wood shop. He was a cabinet maker, a carpenter. But what I've learned over time is if you're someone who really likes building things with your hands, whether it's crocheting or knitting or sewing or woodworking or building models or Legos, and you like to use your hands a lot, making things is a very fun and rewarding way to do things. And that's really what was Tim's passion, was making things, making beautiful things. And so for him, making shoes was hard. He had to learn a lot about it, and there's not a lot of people around who know much about making shoes, so he had to figure a lot of it out, kind of trial and error on his own kids. He'd test them. But that's how he did it. I came to Soft Star 10 years ago,
I also had a little girl at the time, and I was also looking for baby shoes for my little girl. And I saw Tim making these beautiful baby shoes, and I thought, what a great company. And for me, my passion was the product. I thought this is a great shoe, and I like to be creative and sell things and market things. And I know you guys are all really good with doing things on the internet with your Twitter accounts and your blogs, which is great. And I also saw, when I saw Tim's shoes, I thought, wow, I know a lot more people would like the shoe than just the people in our tiny town. Maybe if Tim and I went into business together, I could introduce these shoes to everyone in the world by building a website. So that's what I'm passionate about. That's what I like to do, is to communicate and to have conversations with people, and it's called marketing, when you get your product out there and you're selling it to everyone. So the first thing I did was make a website, which you guys, have you seen our website? No? Okay, so maybe.
Has. I've been on the website. I've been on your website, but we haven't looked at it as a class.
Okay, so it used to be a long time ago, if you had a product to sell, you had to have a little storefront to go and sell it in, and that's what Tim was doing. Nowadays, you need a website, which is kind of like, this digital storefront. And so we went and we got our website out there. We would send shoes to people all around the world to try on. We would put advertisements in magazines. We would talk with people at conferences, would get on the phone and tell shop owners how wonderful our shoes were, and all of a sudden people would start ordering. And right now we've grown to the point where we have people in our web store, which means they're on the internet looking at our store all the time, every day. So right now, can you guys take a guess at this very minute how many people maybe are in the Soft Star Shoes website looking at things, browsing around? You want to take a
What's your guess?
1,000?
1,000? We've got a guess.
Maybe over 1 million?
I wish.
500?
Good.
Boy, you guys are really savvy. You are really good. Yeah, it's around anywhere from 500 to 2,000 people at any time are out there in the world looking, what we call shopping. They're on our site. They're looking at the pictures that this guy here takes, all the pictures. All right.
I do camera work.
And they're looking at his pictures. They're reading our descriptions. They might call us on the phone and say, I see this on your website. Tell me more about it. And then they place an order. So that our store, if you can imagine a local shoe store, you never have 1,000 people in a local shoe store at the same shopping, do you? Not there in Missouri, do you? Do you have a shoe store that big?
No.
No.
We don't either.
No. So it was a way for us to tell a lot more people about the shoes. So in the 10 years that I've been at the company, we went from selling maybe 100 pairs of shoes a month to now we sell 2,000, 3,000 pairs of shoes a month. So it's nice in that we have a lot of good jobs now for people who come, lots of people who like to work with their hands. They like to sew, they like to make things and make beautiful products. We also have a lot of great people in sales and marketing who like to talk to people and tell them about our products and make new products. So for me, my passion right now is making better shoes all the time. So we have a great shoe. How can we make it better? What is it that people in Missouri maybe are looking for in shoes? Or maybe people in Japan. What is it that's exciting to them? That's why we came out with some adult running shoes. We had people calling us saying they wanted to run in a shoe that made them feel like they were barefoot. So we designed shoes for them. Right now we're working on an ankle boot because people say, I want a warm winter kind of casual shoe I can wear to the office. So that's something we're working on designing right now for this fall. And that's my favorite part of Soft Star, is the ability to kind of dream up an idea for a shoe, and then we work as a team and make what we call prototypes, which are examples, test shoes. We might make 25 different ankle boots before we say that's the best one we can make. And so it's nice. There's a lot of pride in being able to make something and have a product. So.
Do you guys have any more questions?
Yeah, we have a few questions.
Yeah. Let's hear them.
Mainly because you guys like sometimes sell like 3,000 shoes. Do people have to work like overnight a lot and like work about like 8 hours or more?
We usually don't work overnight. Most people go home by 5 o'clock. We used to make shoes much slower than we do now. We've worked very hard to become very efficient the way we make shoes, so we can find the quickest way to do something, and little changes in how many shoes go through. If we just have one person working on a shoe, it takes a lot longer. Now some shoes we have 2 people working on it as a team, and they can make them much faster. So yeah, we get them all made, and usually within an 8-hour workday. Most people work 9 to 5, 8 to 4, something like that, and people don't usually stay late at night, and we were able to stay on top of our orders. It takes some work to get to that point, though, to learn how to make shoes quickly and still make them well.
So that's something that when you start making products and you have to make hundreds of them at a time, you start to get better at. If I gave you one of those big hides of leather and I gave you a scissors and a sewing machine and I said, okay, make yourself some shoes, how long do you think it would take to make yourself a pair of shoes?
A month, 4 weeks, a year.
You're right. It would probably take me a couple months, I think. But right now, the shoe that's hardest for us to make is our winter boot, and that takes us about 4 hours, which is pretty good. Part of it is we have that big cookie cutter machine that cuts out the pieces really fast. Part of it is that we have those really strong sewing machines, so you don't have to do it by hand. Part of it is, remember that press we were seeing that squished the shoe?
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have to use a hammer and hammer.
I used to do that when I started here. I was hammering shoes all day long. My arm would get sore and tired. And we had a tiny little girl who worked here who would hammer all day long, and she was a lot stronger than me. But that was a big time. Some college students invented that machine for us to make it help us work faster.
Yeah, so we come up with little ideas all the time to be faster. And the moccasin shoes, the ones we keep turning inside out, those only take us now, how many minutes do you think it takes us to make one of those shoes?
3, 10, 5, 25.
I don't know the answer to that.
It takes us about 16 minutes to make one of those shoes, so pretty fast now.
About an hour?
No, 16 minutes, so we can make 4 of them in an hour.
16.
16.
16, yeah.
All right, next question.
How long was the first time you've ever made a pair of shoes?
How long did it take the first time I ever made a pair of shoes?
Yes.
Is that that's a good question. The first pair of shoes I ever made was a moccasin, and that's the one I told you right now. We can make them now in 16 minutes. It took me all day. Part of it's though because I don't know how to sew very well, so I had to sew 1 stitch at a time. So it took me a long time.
And I'm not a very good sewer either.
It takes a couple months.
How did you first find out that Jim started making shoes? Tim.
So when I found Softstar, so let me back up a little. I always knew I wanted to have my own business. That was important to me. And the reason I wanted to have my own business is a mystery. I just always knew it since I was a kid. And I think it's partly because
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, okay. You're frozen there for a little bit.
Oh, sorry. So part of it is I think I wanted to be in charge of my own destiny. I didn't really want to have a job where someone could fire me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I thought it was exciting and it sounded like fun to me. So I was actually looking for a long time, for about 2 years. I was looking and looking at businesses that I thought I might want to do.
She's froze.
Oh, I wonder if we lost them. That's still.
Wait, I think he's getting off his.
Are we back?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was looking for a business, and I was talking with people who were selling their businesses. Right? Sometimes when someone is ready to retire, they want to sell their business. So I was meeting with people and learning about different businesses. And when I came and I saw Tim selling the shoes for my little girl, his business wasn't for sale. But I just asked him. I said, would you be interested in selling your company? And he was. And that's how that kind of worked. For me, it was more about I knew I wanted a business where we made things, and when I saw these beautiful shoes, I thought, what a beautiful company. I could help here. I could make this company better. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Thank
Okay. Sure.
Hi there.
Have you ever thought of using any other type of material making shoes?
Any other material besides the leather?
Yeah.
Yes, actually, that's an excellent question. So most of our shoes that we make are made from leather, and part of the reason is it makes a very soft and durable shoe. But it's a very expensive way to make a shoe, and there's a lot of people who don't like leather because they don't like that it comes from an animal. So have you guys ever heard of the word vegan? Okay, so there's a lot of people who want to buy shoes from us that do not use leather at all. So we will look for other materials that we can make shoes out of. And Martin just brought in an example of a vegan shoe we make.
These are both fake leather.
And these are made out of a material called ultra suede, which actually I think maybe even comes out of Missouri, possibly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, out of a textile mill. And so these are actually made out of recycled soda pop bottles, believe it or not. But the other material we use a lot of is sheepskin, and we looked at using some like fuzzy material that's warm instead of sheepskin, and nobody liked it. So we do test other materials all the time, but it has to be something that we try and we really, really like and we're behind it. Otherwise, we don't put it in our shoes. But that's a great question. I think to stay ahead, you always constantly have to be thinking, what else? How else could we do this better or differently? And it's a great question.
We've run shoes through a lot of testing. We've had people run in them and run hundreds of miles in them. And the shoes have to hold up. There has to be material strong enough, and they'll last a long time. So, yeah.
Do you know that the soles on our shoes, a long, long time ago, used to be made out of recycled bicycle tires? Yeah. Well, pretty neat.
We like to be very environmentally friendly here.
Nobody else has?
You have another question?
Any more questions? Don't know how much they get. Please help. Do you have one, Chris? I think that's all the questions we have. Well, someone asked if you guys got paid, but I said don't ask that. How much we don't ask that. I think that is all the questions. Oh, come here. We have one more, but he's shy. Come tell me.
Okay.
Oh, he wants to know where you guys are located at.
Oh, that's a good question.
It's an easy one.
So we are in the state of Oregon, which is way over on the Pacific Ocean, kind of sandwiched between Washington and California. And it's a beautiful, beautiful state. There's lots of big, tall trees, and it's foggy and wet here all winter long. We don't get much snow. And we live about 45 minutes from the ocean. But it's not a beach like you guys probably think about. It's a windy, rocky beach, and you have to wear a wetsuit. Martin's a surfer, though. He goes out in that ice cold water.
It's worth it to go surfing.
So.
Thank you.
Oh, there's another question there?
I see a question in the back there. It's cute.
Martin, why did you start looking at the shoe business?
Did you hear him? This was a question for Martin. He wanted to know, why did you start working there?
I call it luck. I was actually working as a baker at the time, and I started working at SoftStar just part-time to earn some extra money, and I quickly realized that I like working at SoftStar a lot more than working as a baker. And my background was in marketing and photography and writing, and I didn't think I was going to have a job in those areas. But I started working at SoftStar customer service, and then I started making some shoes. I was putting the soles on, like you saw earlier. And at some point, SoftStar was a growing company, and they needed someone to help out with their marketing and help out with their photography. And I said, hey, I used to do things like that. And so very quickly, it evolved into a job that I really loved, and I stopped baking. And I've been here about 3 to 4 years now, close to 4 years, 4 years this spring. And I'm really happy with it. I love working here. It's a fun place to work. I enjoy all the work I do, and I consider myself very lucky. And I also run a lot, and I love SoftStar shoes for running. I had a lot of foot pain, and so I started wearing SoftStar shoes. So it's a nice perk. I get to test some of the running shoes when I have new styles, new designs. And it's a lot of fun for me.
I think it's a good question too, because I think when you're younger, you're wondering, how do I ever know what I want to do when I get older? The best thing is just to follow your passion.
Yeah, explore.
When I went to school, I studied something called engineering, and then I studied business, and I worked in lots of different big companies. But I always knew in my heart I was passionate about wanting to have my own company, and that's how I kind of ended up here. So your journey through life might change a lot as you go through it. You might do one job for a while and then switch and find yourself doing something very surprising. I'm sure Mark never thought he'd be a baker, and he never thought he'd be a shoe elf, but look.
Yeah, actually, I went to film school. I worked on movies for 7 years until I decided I didn't want to do that. It was tough to change my mind, but yeah.
I have a question for you guys. How many kids are in your class? 7. Nice. And do you guys have a immersion program at your school?
Do we have a what?
An immersion program?
Language?
No?
No?
Okay. I don't know why you were thinking that.
I thought you might have been.
Because I have a daughter your age. Her name is Natividad, and she's in 5th grade too. But I don't think her 5th grade class knows anything about Google Hangouts or writing blog posts or Twitter. So you guys are really ahead of the game there.
You have a good teacher.
Yeah, nice teacher.
We're the only class at our school with the Twitter account, so.
Was there another question? I saw another head popping up there.
I was wondering, when did it started, like when the building was made, like when you guys start making the shoes?
Well, this is a big anniversary year for us.
So 10, 20, 30 years ago.
30 years ago, 1985.
So you remember that guy Tim, who was showing us how to turn the shoes inside out? Yeah, he was a young guy when Soft Star started.
Yeah, black hair back then. Not anymore. That was pretty sure before all of you were born. I was
Before
born.
you were born?
I was alive then.
Well, thank you for talking to us. We had a really good time. What do you guys say?
Thank you. Sorry for all the camera problems. We also I want to let you know we're sending a little treat your way. They probably won't arrive until next week, but we don't like to waste any of our leather scraps, so we reuse them. We get them away for crafts, and one of the things we do is to make these little bracelet crafts with them. We get pieces of leather, and you can make a bracelet like this. And we're going to be sending you guys some leather pieces so you can make your own bracelets. You'll probably get them next week. Your colors will be different. The colors are all very different. So you can, we'll be sending those your way, and hopefully you'll have fun with them.
That's cool. Thank you. Well, hopefully we'll get to do something like this again with you guys.
We'd love to. Now they got all the technical stuff figured out, it'll be a breeze next time.
Well, I think there's a video, right? They said maybe you guys could teach us how to make the bracelets, but you've sent a video, right? There's a...
Oh, yeah, we have a video and printable instructions how to make them. You'll see me in the video. Yeah. Probably looking a lot like I do right now, holding up a bracelet, showing how to make it. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for getting a hold of us. Thanks, Miss Burke.
Bye. Thank you.